All I could see. Mating season, Big Mouth, Breaking Bear. It's all I could see.
Oh, no, please. I think you're losing yourself, brother. I think you're losing yourself to the madness. This obsession with all of these bad, awful episodes, it's going to consume you. I'm just trying to help.
You're losing yourself. Where did the bottle go? Where did it go?
It didn't hit me because you're mad. How do you know I'm even real?
Maybe he was right all along. Maybe everybody's been right. Maybe watching all of these really bad, really awful shows is having quite the toll on me. Maybe watching Mating Season, Big Mouth, Brickleberry, Breaking Bear, all of these shows, they're taking a toll on me. So why not watch those episodes again? I was banned for 2 weeks, and, rent is high sometimes, and I know I could use this to make you laugh. So we're going to be taking a look at what are the worst adult animated episodes of all time. Like, subscribe, you know the drill, let's get to it. Look into my eyes. Look at my bird nest-like hair. You're probably hoping that the bird of truth is going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes up out of my hair and reveal the holy truth to you. Well, I wouldn't lie to you, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The main reason I'm making this video is because I was banned for 2 weeks, and I need some good episodes that I could talk about. Episodes that are so unbelievably bad that I could for sure make you laugh because of how much I hate them. But there is a new contender in that arena, an enemy that I never could have foreseen rising up and proclaiming itself as the worst show that I have ever seen in my entire life. And that is Breaking Bear. I genuinely don't know how people are just sitting here shaking in excitement while watching Breaking Bear like, ooh, gore! Ooh, eating poop! Ooh, Jeffrey Epstein! I really don't get it, bro. This is like one of the worst things that I've watched in so long, and I just watched Mating Season not that long ago. Like, Big Mouth, the only slight edge that Big Mouth has over Breaking Bear in terms of being, like, really bad is the naked children. That's not going to help anybody when creating a show when that's your main focal point. But Breaking Bear manages to take every single other aspect, bad comedy, bad writing, the worst build-up in the story to create something that is truly just a massive stinky pile of poop. Like, I can't believe how bad it is. And to truly highlight that, we're going to focus on one episode. Episode 3. A Breaking Bear. Now this episode, it opens with some beautiful gore, beautiful, lustrous gore with no purpose, no jokes in between. It's not like the bear's walking in like, oh ho ho, I'm smarter than the average bear, I'm gonna shake you down for money because of my empire, I'm smarter than the average bear. He doesn't do that. He walks in, and they're trying to shake this dude down for money because he owes money for all the stuff that he bought. And instead, you know, I was banned, I gotta watch my lingo here. They come up to him, and they start messing with his fish because he owns an aquarium. And they grab this fish, and it bites off the big bear named Jur's tongue, and he just starts bleeding everywhere, just everywhere. And it doesn't look good. It's not like funny slapstick comedy, it's just his tongue bleeding everywhere, and it's not fun to watch.
Make it stop! Make it stop! Make it stop!
And then they throw the fish at the guy that they're trying to shake down, and the fish bites off his tiddlywinks, his giblets. Imagine I'm holding something here. What could it be? What could it be, boo-boo? What am I fondling, boo-boo? You know, he bites that off, and then the dude just slowly dies on the floor. And it's not fun to watch. Like, again, the beauty of doing, like, crazy deaths like this is that they're funny when crazy things are happening and it's actually animated in a way that, oh my gosh, that shocked me, that was hilarious, I couldn't believe that happened. But here it's just needless gore. It's basically the equivalent of watching Chef in South Park get ripped to death by all of the lions and whatnot in that thing. Like, you're not laughing at that, it's just a guy getting brutally mutilated. If you're laughing at somebody getting brutally mutilated, oh, you're a little bit of a freak. Just saying. Just not my cup of tea, personally. So then they're sitting in this camper and they're having a big old discussion about how the bears are a little bit stinky. And so, to cap it off with a beautiful joke in an adult animated comedy, what do you think they do? Just a big old stinky wet fart.
Meth, wet bears, and dead fish farts.
Oh, man. You know, we have limitless potential. We're telling a Breaking Bad parody here about bears trying to save the forest by making... And we're gonna have some stinky little winky farts thrown in? Well, color me impressed, gee whiz. So then, they go to this forest, and there's these squirrels, and they're trying to find a new place to call their hangout so that they're able to, you know, have a place to call their headquarters. And the squirrels, they immediately grab each other and just start going to town on each other, and I guess it's funny because squirrels like to get down and nasty. Again, I can't show you half of the things that happen in the show because of monetization reasons and getting banned reasons. It is that unbelievably garbage, so the squirrels are going to town on each other, having fun, and then they show them their brand new headquarters. And, like, why do you have to do this to me? Like, I can't show you almost anything that happens in this place because they go inside and it's just naked sculptures as far as the eye can see. A naked woman here, a naked woman here, all just naked in this headquarters. And I get it kind of goes with the vibe of who actually owns the headquarters, but it's genuinely like all the animators were sitting there like, oh yes, we have to fine tune and sculpt the animated boob of the gods in the background of every scene. So everything that happens in there I can't show you because it's just being blinded by boob, which to some maybe you're sitting there like, oh, maybe I do need to check out the show. Boobs, oh my goodness, you know, getting really excited. But for me it was just kind of pointless and annoying. And then Jur the bear, he walks up to this old photo of this old man in a bikini and immediately starts cranking his hog, horking his pork, pounding his peppermint patty, getting down and dirty with it. And as he is about to release his white tsunami, just that, you know, sweet release, that sweet nectar just about to bounce on out, we get a close-up of Jeffrey Epstein's face. Yes, Jeffrey Epstein is in this episode, and he is a prominent figure in it. And you would think, okay, you got me. They're adding Jeffrey Epstein. It's about to become a heater. They're going to make fun of him. They're going to bully him into the ground because obviously one of the worst people that has ever existed. They're going to have some heater jokes to go with Mr. Epstein. Well, I want you to imagine that you're in a pitch meeting, you're sitting there, you're taking notes, and everybody's just sitting around a table, and they're just all like, well, we really need to add a pedophile into this episode, and I'm thinking we need Mr. Epstein. Now everybody tell me, what do we know about Mr. Epstein?
Well, you know, I know that he likes underage girls.
Yes, let's talk about that. Well, what else, everybody?
Well, I know that he had an island where he was doing pedophilic things.
Yes, oh my God, it's genius.
Anything else? And anybody at all? No? Okay. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein's entire role in this episode is literally to say, are they underage? I like them underage.
I'm underage. Oh, Alistair, just warms my heart to hear those two words together.
And also to say that everybody in society judged him for something so harshly when it was the one thing he wanted to do. Those are the two only jokes they do with Jeffrey Epstein's character in this episode, and it's completely and utterly pointless. It's like, it just makes no sense why they would even bother to add the dude into the episode. It's just completely and utterly stupid. And then he gets hung, so I mean, I guess that's like the golf clap moment, like, oh yes, Jeffrey Epstein's dying right there. Yes, how funny. Yeah, that's pretty much all they did with him. In the meantime, though, Jur the bear, he goes outside after splooging all over the old guy, and he walks outdoors and takes the biggest, meanest, stinkiest poo that you could ever imagine. And once again, I'm sitting there like, woo-wee! Yes, bro, this is exactly what I needed. Oh my god. It's just so funny watching a bear take a big old mean dumpa in the forest, and then he picks it up, grabs it, throws it across the forest. It lands in a wolf's face, and the wolf starts going, oh, that tastes like pot roast.
Pot roast with a brown gravy sauce?
I'm having such a wonderful time. Such an amazing time. And then there's this bear named Alistair, and he takes some, he's not allowed to do anymore. So in response, he puts it up his butt, and then he walks inside and he says, I didn't smoke it, I didn't lick it, I didn't sniff it. And then he turns around, jumps in the air, and releases a stinky, ridden fart.
The poop hole loophole!
To cap off this wondrous episode. And this is really only scratching the surface of how bad Breaking Bear is. I'm not one to really advertise, I don't really care what you do, but if you want to go and watch my video where I watch all of Breaking Bear, it is actually such a awful, awful show in like every way. I don't know how people are genuinely finding this to be funny. Like, there's only like 3 shows now that I would say that I can't respect anybody for watching, and it's Breaking Bear, Big Mouth, and Mating Season. Those 3, I genuinely could not fathom how you could ever enjoy those. I really can't. The next one I'm going to be talking about is from Family Guy, and it's Stewie as in Sente. Can you imagine, like, having a best friend, you guys have been hanging out for your entire life, and you start drifting away slowly because you either have a job, you have a girlfriend, you've just been focusing on other things, and then one day he hits you up, you got an open schedule, and you're like, yes, dude, let's hang out, what do you want to do? And he's like, oh, just come over, I got something important to tell you. And he looks you dead in the eyes, and he's like, oh, hello, I missed you so much. I impregnated myself with your DNA. You're going to be a father. Forcefully. I took your hair while you're sleeping and impregnated myself. Aren't you excited? Our baby is growing deep inside of me. And you just sit there. And imagine your friend is also, I don't know, 1 year old. And you're 26. Ain't that a bit of a weird scenario? I'm just throwing that out there. Now, I know it's Family Guy. I'm not actually going to take it that seriously. Like, this isn't going to go down haunting my nightmares, and I'm just thinking, I can't believe Family Guy would do this. This is so awful. How could they ever come up with something like this? I'm going to have nightmares. I'm going to freak out. I'm going to write an angry letter because Stewie got pregnant in Family Guy. No, I don't really care that much, but the episode does objectively suck, and it is a little bit weird. Stewie and Brian, they're drifting apart, so just like I said, Stewie decides to take some of Brian's DNA and get down and dirty with himself. A good old baby getting impregnated. Yes, pregnant baby. Baby pregnant. Exciting words. Words that you want to always hear combined. Yes. So, Stewie, he's pregnant. And the only scene that I like and don't like at the same time, it's like a 50-50. Like, it makes me laugh because of how absurd it is, but it's also disgusting in a way, where Stewie, he's telling Brian that he's pregnant, and Brian's immediate reaction is to punch him in the gut and say, is it dead?
Bottle in Paris. We could take the baby with us. We could be that kind of family. What do you think? Ooh. Is it dead?
Which, I mean, honestly, if a toddler took my DNA and impregnated himself with it, God, that's such a weird sentence to say out loud. I don't know if I would want it to live. I know that's a controversial subject, but you know, if I was forcefully to become a father of a toddler, oh man, this is just going downhill with every sentence I say about it. See, this is why this episode is weird. It's just so weird to talk about. Like, how do you, like, if this is somebody's favorite episode, how do you talk to people about it? It's just like, God, I love when Stewie the toddler became pregnant. Oh yeah, it's so weird. So Stewie is preggers and just kind of keeps forcing Brian into it because Brian has to, I guess. So they do some very weird things like going to the doctor and getting an ultrasound, and Stewie's all dressed up. And again, it's Family Guy, so it's about as weird as anything else. But just watching Stewie the toddler get an ultrasound is weird for me. And then having the photo shoot with Brian where they're, you know, holding each other in sensual couple-like ways. To get excited for the baby is again a little bit weird for me. I can't say that I'm the biggest fan of this whole situation. And even like Stewie's water breaking in a restaurant is weird, and then Stewie giving birth where he's in the car and it's just going everywhere, just a placenta here, there's a placenta there. Can you imagine just walking by and then you just car on the side of the road and you look over and it's just splats all over and you're just like, ugh! You decide to take a peek inside. Human curiosity, the curiosity killed the cat, and you just see a toddler giving birth.
On the seats. Oh God, I think another one's coming. I don't see it. I think it's coming out of my mouth.
That would be the worst day of my life. I don't know how you can ever recover from something like that. So, Stewie, he has the children, and then Brian's fathering them, and then they decide they don't want the kids anymore at the end of the episode. So, yeah. It was a whole roller coaster of emotions, that's for sure, but I think it's by far one of the worst Family Guy episodes, other than maybe when Chris cranks his grandfather's hog. But I've talked about that episode so many times that I wanted to talk about Stewie as Incente one more time. I don't know, this video is kind of going to be like a finale on talking about these episodes, so I'm just, you know, giving them their cake, giving them their flowers, because I hate them so much, and this is probably my least favorite Family Guy episode of all time. It's just so, it's so weird, man. Big Mouth is a really weird show because I feel like it's kind of like I'm just gonna leave that in. Imagine Big Mouth is like Sleeping Beauty, and there's an evil witch that wants to cast a spell on it. So take the episode I'm gonna be discussing, Poop Madness, for example, where there's a side plot in the episode that is actually really good, about struggles with identity and sexual orientation, and actual struggles that somebody might be going through in puberty. What the show is designed for. And then there's just an evil witch like hovering over the episode like, now it's all about poop. A young boy getting constipated in the woods, and make sure to focus on his ass. Yeah, that's basically what happens in the episode Poop Madness. I hate it so unbelievably much. It's everything that I hate about Big Mouth in one big jumbled mess. Having an amazing concept and just completely ignoring that fact to tell some of the worst comedy that I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, just take the opening of the episode, for example, where it's Andrew in the bathroom, where a big old hormone monster is staring into his gaping hole. And again, I'm not going to show you any of this. I'm not going to run the risk. But he's just like, oh, Andrew. Oh, come on, man. You could, that voice is hurting right now. You could let it out, man. Come on, just, take a poop, Andrew. Come on. Oh, let me see in there. Let me see what you got going in there. And just trying to spread him wide so that Andrew is able to poop, but he's not able to because it's being held deep inside and he can't release it. Yeah. So that's a main theme for the episode. And then you have the good side plot, but every time the good side plot is continuing, it just keeps getting interrupted by the hormone monster being like, oh, Andrew, come on. Andrew, let it out. Let that thunder out, buddy. Come on, Andrew. Come on. And then eventually they're in the forest, and Nick and Andrew have been bickering with each other, and the big climax, the big ultimate moment for the episode is Nick helping Andrew to push out a literal poop baby, a fetus monster, the ultimate dung guy. So Andrew's just literally giving birth to this massive big thing in multiple positions, and eventually he does push it out, and I'm just supposed to give a big old huzzah! Oh, Andrew. Oh, you pushed that out really good, yeah. Oh, God, they grow up so fast. And, it's out of him. and then they hold it like a little baby, just cradling their big old jumbled mess of poop. And that's pretty much the episode for you. There's some other things in between. Like, the side plot is so good, but just having everything else being revolved around pushing out a giant poop baby, it just doesn't really capture my vibe of being a good episode, and it just kind of highlights how much wasted potential there is in Big Mouth. Big Mouth could have been so much better if it was run by somebody else. I genuinely believe that. If somebody else was in charge of Big Mouth and would do, like, maybe the basics of, you know, we could still teach children to love their bodies, but we could also put bubbles over their genitalia like every other animated show would do when showing a child naked. But whatever, it's fine. You know. But maybe that's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't like Big Mouth at all. I'll stand by that. And this is by far one of the worst episodes they've ever made. Brickleberry is such an interesting show because I hate it so much, but it's so fun to talk to the fans of that show, mainly because they usually start off their conversations with, I hate you, Carlos. Don't you understand that you're supposed to turn off your brain with watching Brickleberry? You gotta get high as hell, maybe slam a couple of brewskis, and it's gonna be one of the greatest shows you've ever watched. And to that I say, so you want me to become a moron? You want me to become a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal just coming up to my screen like, I love the animal death. I love it so much. Like, that's what you want from me? Instead of me finding a show that is absolutely hilarious when I'm sober. I don't have to turn off my brain to enjoy it. In fact, my brain being on makes it so much more funny because I could connect it to other things. I could relate to the show, which makes it even more funny. I could watch that show, and I'm not taking away you slamming a couple of brewskis. I'm not taking away you smoking it up and getting high on that ganja. But instead, I could get inebriated and then watch the show that is already amazing while I can use my brain, while I am sober. And then that show takes me to the ethereal plane. I ascend, I lift up like, oh, because it's so unbelievably good, and I don't have to dumb myself down into a moron to enjoy it. I absolutely love finding people who use the turn off your brain argument. It is so unbelievably silly. You could turn off your brain. I don't care. But don't get mad at other people for wanting to have a little bit of intellect while they consume media, being able to judge it, being able to embrace it, being able to enjoy it in their own way. It is just always so interesting to talk to those folks. But that brings me to the episode of Brickleberry that I personally hate most. It is the reason that I hate Brickleberry, Paradise PD, and Farzar. I've talked about it before. Get ready for it. It is Gay Bomb! Yes, the episode where they like gay people. Yeah, they like laughing at gay people. It's the equivalent of if I was to walk up to a gay man in a bar and just be all like, yeah, it's just a gay guy. He's not doing anything. Let's even say he looks like the most average person that you've ever seen in your entire life. There is nothing special about this guy. It's like the equivalent of walking up to Emmett in the Lego movie, finding him. He has a generic face. He looks generic, and I'm just like, are you a homosexual? You know, I'm just losing my mind. That's basically what this episode is for its comedy, and also strangling dogs. Yay! I think psychopaths enjoy this show. I don't get it. The episode revolves around Connie, not liking that nobody wants to be with her. She tries to unconsensually kiss Ethel. That doesn't work out very well, so she runs away and finds a military base where they have a big old gay bomb. She slams it down to the ground, which turns everybody in like a 30-mile radius into a homosexual. Okay? And so you would think they would do something interesting with that, but I just don't really think so. You have the guys in the show all turning gay and just kind of like fighting each other for affection, and they don't really do anything that funny with it. It's just genuinely the guy characters being gay, and there's so much time spent with them that I feel like the creators were genuinely laughing. Like, it's just that, oh man, oh, they're gay, they're so gay, ah, ha, ha. And they all just start like passionately making out with each other while watching the episode because they just find it so funny. Like, I don't get it. I just personally, like, I don't see the appeal. It is that kind of comedy that's in every episode where they focus on certain things that are so unfunny for so long, and I just feel like the cast and crew must have been just having a good old jork, a good old jork of their porks, enjoying themselves to this, and I just don't get it. And then there's the other stuff that's going on with Connie in the episode, where her parents, who abandoned her for being a homosexual, find her. And they replaced her with a dog. And once they discover that the gay bomb made their daughter no longer gay, they grab the dog and just strangle it to death. Slowly, mind you.
Go to sleep, Connie. Go to sleep.
There is 10 seconds of this episode where the entire joke is just them grabbing the dog while he's saying, "Easy, Connie, easy," and just slowly watching it take its last breath. And I hate it so unbelievably much. So much. Just because, what is the point of that? What is the joke? Like, if anybody's ever laughed at that, if anybody's ever found that funny, can you please tell me? Can you please explain to me the joke? Like, walk up to me and say, I found this funny because I liked when the dude grabbed the dog and slowly strangled it to death, and it went on for so long as I watched the dog take its last breath. Walk up to me and tell me how you find that funny, because I just don't get it. I will always preface that animals dying randomly can be funny, like, in the right context, if you build it up correctly, and yes, it's rare, but I'm not like a huge animal activist. I mean, I try, but what is funny about that? I don't get it. I hate it. I despise it. The plot of the episode sucks. It is just one big jumbled mess that I will never understand. I will never enjoy, and I will always hate this episode out of everything from Brickleberry, Paradise PD, and Farzar. My least favorite episode of Mating Season is What Happened in Canada, which is episode 4, and it's mainly because of all the story implications that it has, as well as also being extremely boring, extremely bad at trying to tell a good story. And people, when they were defending Mating Season, they were like, well, it gets better after like a couple of episodes. The story starts heating up. It starts getting awesome with all the characters and all the drama. I'm like, where? Because it's shit. It's so bad. There's not a single character to actually cling on to, and all of their problems, all of their struggles, I just don't find myself caring. The episode revolves around, Fawn the deer and Penelope the fox, and they're both explaining stories of their past with their biggest relationships. Fawn's is so unbelievably dumb because it has major implications for the rest of the story. The boyfriend that she has comes back for 3 episodes of the show, and literally his only trait in this episode is just, oh, look at me pee. Look at me pee there, pee here, pee everywhere.
You're peeing on my leg right now, aren't you?
Our leg.
Right.
I'm peeing. Yes, he pees a lot. Woo! Woo! Yippee, I'm so excited to watch this wolf pee. That's basically all that happens. She's dating this wolf. She's falling in love with this wolf. They move in together, and then the wolf starts marking his territory. So he pees a little here, pees a little there, pees a little everywhere. I'm getting excited. He even pees on her. And then she's like, oh, boo. I loved him so much, but I had to leave him because of all of the pee. He just peed a little bit too much. I can't believe how much he peed. And, like, there's nothing else defining about his character, nothing good about it. He just really liked to pee. And then he comes back in multiple episodes as a refined wolf, a great guy, and they try to act like it's this big, illustrious romance that I'm supposed to care about, but the only thing he did in the episode that's supposed to make me care about them getting back together is piss on the floor. So it's not really going to do it for me. It just does not work. And then you have Penelope's side, which I hate solely because, again, they're trying to make you care about this relationship, and they just write it in such a horrible way. Penelope meets this beagle when she's not supposed to, because beagles hunt them down, and they fall in love just by looking at each other. Do they say anything meaningful that would, like, entice them to actually want to get together? No, they don't. But they try to make it act like this big relationship, and then they just show them getting dirty, getting nasty for like 4 minutes, where the beagle is like finding her clitoris and having fun with that under the water, a montage of that. And then the beagle and Penelope run away to be together, and then the beagle's all like, no, I don't want to be with you, oh, I can't go. And then Penelope runs away without the beagle. And then the beagle returns in the finale to be all like, I made a mistake, I love you so much, girl. It's just horrible characterization, horrible for the plot. So in this show that's mainly all about animals just pounding, they try so hard to make you enveloped in the story, so much so that you'll crave a season 2, but they fail so badly at that this is the episode where it's so heavy with the story that I hate the most, because even in an episode where it's not mainly focused on the animals just pounding, they still do so bad. And I just despise it. I despise Mating Season. I hate everything about it, and this is by far my least favorite episode.